Monday. This is where it is at, and I'm going to put on the great man, Tony Meredith, because we had a few issues yesterday doing our Facebook Live talking about self-awareness. We want to bring him on today to really go through and deep dive, because I know we had some issues, technical issues, and they do happen sometimes. So I'm just about to bring him on. Looks like he has joined us. Just trying to take him in here, and thanks for coming. And I think you've got a guest with you there as well. So looking forward to our two special guests coming on today. It's going to be a three-way tie to bring on some of this love and kindness. And when it comes to property investing and self-awareness, Sebastian, good to see you all the way from, we've got global citizens in here. So love the work.
Hello, mate. How you going?
Yeah, good. Got you on there now. How's things going after yesterday's fire up? It's take two today.
Well, that means I have to fire up twice as much. No, I'm all good, thanks. No, it was very good. I'm actually here at the network meeting, so I'm just here in Brisbane. I'm a bit early, but you can see we're all ready to go for the network meeting. I was just having a session with Mark and your business partner, and I had to interrupt him to get onto this very important live broadcast.
It's a very important one. We want to talk about, what's going on in the world of ourselves. And I think that's really an important one to note as well. Jack says, gentlemen, good day. Ty, Jin, and Sebastian's come on as well. So, Tony, what do we need to really be aware of about ourselves?
Well, you want to elevate your consciousness. What happens is we spend most of our life operating with our subconscious. That is, we've done something for a long period of time, and we don't even know we're doing it half the time. And a great example of that is when you're driving in a car, and someone cuts you off, what do? Do you honk the horn? Do you flip the bird? Do you swear? And you do these things automatically. And so what we need to do is we need to elevate our thoughts to be more conscious. And the more conscious you can be around the way in which you do things, how you behave, then you give yourself half a chance to actually make a change. But when you're operating on your subconscious, then quite often you're doing things and you don't even realize you're doing them. And then maybe an hour, a day, a couple of days later, you realize, hang on a second, I acted in a particular way and I wasn't that happy. But it's all about how do we elevate our consciousness.
Now, in yesterday's video, I know that, and hi to Jim for coming on, I actually mentioned about a topic in terms of someone that's going through a bit of a career change, and they're not quite self-aware about what's going on with their willingness to go on with this career. Now, they are a fellow buyer's agent. They've done a course recently. They've actually focused on trying to get a bit of work through that, and haven't been that successful so far. So I sat with them and talked to them about what's going on with them. They have been successful in the past doing renovations and working on other things. And you could see their eyes light up when they were talking, not about the buyer's agency, but about the renovations, the renovating. So, Tony, talk us, why do those eyes light up? I know why. Why don't you tell the viewers?
Because they love it. That's why their eyes light up, because they love it, because they need to listen to this thing more. You can't really see it. I'm pointing to my heart. You need to listen to your heart more. And there's a process that I take my clients through, and it's called Ikigai, and it's spelled Ikigai, and it's Japanese for reason for being. And it's a process where you've got four intersecting circles. One of the circles is what do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? And what can you get paid for or rewarded for? And where those four circles intersect, that's your Ikigai.
Say them again,
and
Tony.
So for that particular person, so what do you love?
What do you love?
What are you good at? What does the world need?
What does the world need?
And what can you get rewarded for or paid for?
What can you get rewarded for?
And where those four circles intersect, that's called your Ikigai. And so you can have two of those, but that may not be your Ikigai. So for example, you could be good at something and get rewarded for that something, but that's called a job because you may not love it. Or you could be good at something and love it, but you may not get paid for it, and that's called a passion. So the idea is that you want to have the four intersecting circles, and that's where you start to make a difference. And so for the person that you're talking to, it's all about recognizing that I actually really love this. And whilst, yes, I might be trying to force my way into buyer's agency, but I love this bit over here. And it's all about self-awareness. It comes down to spending time understanding yourself, spending time listening to yourself, spending time asking yourself those questions. You know within your heart when something is easy, when you do things easily, when you do it comfortably, when you bound out of bed to do a particular task, the particular behavior, that's a pretty good indication that that's something that you love doing. And so I'd encourage you to explore that.
Yeah, you know, it goes down to what are you prepared to do at 10 o'clock at night when everyone's out on a Friday night and partying it up, and you want to be at home, and it actually feels so much more comfortable. G'day to Tony Gallagher's come on. Lee has also joined us, and Johnny. Tony, I know you had I know Tony Gallagher had an question earlier today. I couldn't recall exactly what it is, but Tony Gallagher, if you want to pop that on, if you're not driving, that is. And I know some people are probably watching this while they're heading on their way home, or not watching, but listening, I should say. Listening to this.
Listening whilst they're heading home.
So be careful if you're out there on the road. That's a big focus. And Tony
absolutely.
Gallagher, if we don't answer that today, maybe we'll go back to it, do it on another video, because I know it might actually bring up a whole new topic, and we might just stay away from that today. But, you know, is that...
Just taking your point there, Luke, just taking your point there about what are you doing on a Friday night, that sort of piece. I asked two key questions, right? So what is it that people want to do? But also the other question is, what is it that you're prepared to sacrifice, right? So people can want to have $1 million, but what are they prepared to sacrifice in order to get the $1 million? Does that make sense? So in order to get the $1 million, they may have to sacrifice a Friday night with their friends. They may have to sacrifice going on an annual holiday. They may have to sacrifice, you know, some sleep, so on and so forth. So it's all good and well to say, well, I want something, but you need to, again, be self-aware to say, am I prepared to do what's required to get that something?
Is it a sacrifice if it's really you?
It's a good way to frame it up. Absolutely. It's a good way to frame it up, because if it's taking you to where you love doing, then no, it's not a sacrifice. It's not a chore, right? But I suppose the sacrifice is not so much the activity. It's a sacrifice of less sleep, sacrifice of less time with family, sacrifice of going out with your mates. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the actual activity yourself is not the sacrifice.
And I guess we've always got to take into account family and activities and other things that are going on in our life as well. And Rodney actually said today, and I spoke to Rodney earlier today, we actually discussed this idea, what you do love, and if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life, and that goes along with your thinking as well. So
of course it does.
Tony Gallagher has actually put that question on. So the question for 5:30 was, as I work, hold on, it's a bit of a long one. Maybe we'll leave it for today.
Okay.